definition of insanity is. Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy.
10 years ago, Ubisoft was untouchable. Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Splinter Cell, Watch Dogs, Prince of Persia, they were giants. And now, it feels like we're watching a legendary studio slowly collapse in real time. January 2026 has been an absolute disaster for Ubisoft. Canceled games, massive restructuring, stock price crashing, studio closures, strikes. Employees are even calling management insane. So what is actually happening at Ubisoft? And what does this mean for Assassin's Creed and the future? Because honestly, it's not looking good. This is BO3GG Gaming. Let's dive in. Let's start with the numbers. Ubisoft's market value used to be over 10 billion euros. Today, it's sitting around 500 to 590 million. That's a 95% drop. Their shares just hit the lowest point in more than a decade. Why? Because of years of game delays, canceled projects, weak launches, expensive AAA development, trend-chasing live service flops, and now, Ubisoft has officially canceled 6 games, including Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake, a remake fans waited years for, gone, and 7 more games delayed. Studios in Halifax and Stockholm closed. This isn't minor restructuring. This is survival mode. Ubisoft has announced a massive reorganization. They're splitting the company into 5 creative houses, organized by genre. The idea? Less bureaucracy, more accountability, more creative autonomy. Translation? The old system failed. CEO Yves Guillemot says this will reconnect Ubisoft with its DNA. But here's the thing, we've heard this before. After Ghost Recon Breakpoint bombed in 2019, they promised reforms. After Skull and Bones became a money pit, they promised changes. After failed Battle Royale attempts, they promised a reset. And now, another reset. One Ubisoft employee even posted internally,
What the definition of insanity is. Insanity.
Yes, they quoted Voss. That's how many developers feel inside the company. It feels like Ubisoft keeps doing the same thing, expecting different results. Now we get to the part that really exploded. Ubisoft announced a mandatory 5-day return to office for thousands of employees. Many were hired on remote contracts. Some live hours away from headquarters. So what does this mean? For some employees, it means they have no choice but to quit. Unions are calling it quiet firing. Instead of laying people off and paying severance, you make conditions worse until they resign. And things got ugly. A longtime Assassin's Creed developer criticized the policy. He was fired. Employees went on strike. At least 1,200 workers participated. Ubisoft claims 538. Either way, that's massive. Union statements called management out of touch, destroying working conditions, lies, and breaking the law. One developer said, "This is probably the most embarrassed I have felt working somewhere." That's brutal. Now, to be fair, the entire gaming industry is struggling. Post-pandemic correction, investment drying up, budgets skyrocketing, gamers becoming more selective. Ubisoft says is more competitive than ever. They're not wrong. Elden Ring showed that players want bold, cohesive vision, not safe, not bloated, not designed by committee games. And that's the painful comparison. Ubisoft has thousands of developers, so why can't they create something that hits like that? Even internally, developers were asking the same question in 2022. That frustration, it hasn't gone away. So what about Assassin's Creed? Let's be real. Ubisoft will protect a sea at all costs. It's their golden goose. But here's the danger. When a company is financially stressed, they don't take risks. They double down on big open-world RPG formulas, live service models, safe design choices. Innovation becomes secondary to revenue. Assassin's Creed Hex is rumored to be darker, more experimental. But after this crisis, future AC titles could become even more conservative, more massive, more checklist-driven, more monetized, and less bold. Unless this creative house model actually works. Unless giving teams real autonomy fixes the disconnect. But that's a huge if. The real tragedy isn't just delays. It's people losing their jobs. It's veterans walking away. It's a talent drain. Morale is collapsing. Ubisoft still owns some of the most powerful IP in gaming history, but IP alone isn't enough anymore. Gamers changed, expectations changed, and Ubisoft hasn't fully caught up. So, is this the beginning of Ubisoft's comeback, or the beginning of the end? Let me know what you think in the comments. Can Ubisoft recover, or are we watching a legend slowly fade away? Because as a gamer who grew up on their games, this one hurts. You've been watching BO3GG Gaming. See you in the next one.